Hello, my good friends. This is welcome to a new episode of Just a Thought. I want to share something today about spirituality and what it means to me and what it could mean to you. Spirituality is a word you hear a lot today. It's quite a fashioned word, isn't it? And sometimes maybe you think, oh, there's that word again. And it always gives me the creeps or it's about, maybe you think it's about, oh, the flowers and crazy stuff. Well, not to me, I think spirituality is actually the road from my head to my heart. And to get there, it takes a lifetime. And once you be there, you have to go through your spirit, and because spirituality is just working. And going through your spirit, that's where the real hard work starts, because that's where you find your inner life, but also your pain, your rejection, your addictions, the stuff you don't like, you don't like to know others about, and the stuff that my wives know, but not you. So, but anyway, so that's for me spirituality. And there's a parable in the Bible, and it's about the teachings of Jesus. Now, I see Jesus as a spiritual teacher, and many of his messages and teachings were explained in a very natural way, and even to manipulate people or getting people in a certain direction. But I think we have to stay away from that, and I think there's a spiritual deepening in his message, and one of his stories, and it's actually quite a heavy story because I used to have quite a problem with it, but now I see the spiritual level of it, and it's the parable of the separation from the sheep and the goats, and the difference between the sheep and the goats was that the sheep had an eye for those who knock on the door and were naked and hungry, and they open up and they're feeding them, and there were people in the prison that cried out for help, and they visited. And the goats were the ones that had didn't have an eye for those people, and they let the hungry die, and they left the prison alone, and so there was a separation between those two. But what does that mean in a spiritual way? If you practice spirituality, it means that you have to find your inner life, and you have to face who you really are. And who you really are, I mean with who you really are, your soul is who you really are. And your soul's perfect. Your soul comes from a perfect place and goes to a perfect place and is in a perfect place. Because now is good. And who you are is good. And your identity is authentic. That's your soul. But your spirit is the one that filters things, that sense things, and that where things keep sticking, the pain. That's where you find the dirt, the pain, the rejection, the imprisoned you, the hungry person that knocks on the door, the hungry one, the lonely one in the prison, and so what separates us from the sheep and the goats? I think we should be sheep. And why? Because we have to embrace that person we see in our spirit. It's the place where pain is, and we have to embrace that pain. We don't have to reject it. We don't have to say it's not a part of me. Yes, it is a part of you. And as long as you don't embrace it, you keep fighting a battle you're never going to win. But the way to the road to your soul is accepting your pain, your rejection, and take care of that person. That's actually the difference between the sheep and the goat. The goat doesn't take care of it, but the sheep takes care of it. So take care of yourself. Go into your inner life. Accept that there is pain, that there is rejection, that there is hunger, that there is addiction. And once you accept that person, you can love it. And by loving it, you can heal it. Because that's where heaven comes to existence. And the sheep were ordained to go to heaven in the now. And the goats were not going to heaven because they don't let heaven get in themselves. So embrace and work hard. That's what spirituality means for me. I hope it will help you a bit. Spirituality contains a lot of more, but that takes too long. I'll see you hopefully in the next time in Just a Thought. Thank you very much for listening. Bless you.